And this is an important one. People don't say this, Morton, that God really did create in 6 days,
All right, and
six
so why
literal
do you
days.
see that? Because a lot of people would say side issue, not if I don't believe that, I still can go to heaven. So
Oh,
what is your thinking there? What's the argument?
here's why it's important. Because I do a lot of teaching on this theological issues in the old earth, why the age of the earth makes a difference. Number one, it's foundational to understanding the gospel of Jesus Christ. It is the entire foundation for why Jesus Christ had to come, suffer and die on a cross, be buried and raised from the dead, conquer death there.
Right.
If you don't believe in a 6 day creation, you don't have a good explanation for why Jesus had to come.
All right. So stop right there and give our listeners a little bit better understanding of why. I
Okay.
agree with you, of course, but
Okay.
why?
Okay. Let me, is it okay if I take a literal view of the Bible right now? Sure it is.
Cool.
I
Cool.
always have to ask permission. They never know.
you don't, you
The
don't
Bible
need my
starts off
permission.
with the Bible starts off with God created everything in 6 days.
Okay.
And
Right.
at the end of the 6th day, he called his creation very good. Then comes so day six comes Adam and Eve. Then after that comes the fall. Then comes death. That is the exact order the Bible reads.
Right.
Didn't take
Yep.
anything into account. But once we add millions of years, and it doesn't matter whether it's the gap theory, the day age theory, framework hypotheses, or any of those other ideas, it doesn't matter. They all have the same problems. Once I add millions of years, here's what happens. God's creation is going on for millions and millions of years, these long days, long ages. Finally, along come Adam and Eve, then comes the fall. Question is, what was going on for those millions of years before Adam and Eve in the fall? It's called the
Right.
fossil record, a record of dead things.
Dead.
So
Death.
millions of
Yep.
years, no matter how you put it in, always teaches death before sin, which undermines the entire gospel of Jesus Christ.
Very good. Yes, yes, absolutely. That's good. And of course, I believe that. I
Oh,
want
yes.
you to be able to say it with
Yes.
all of your expertise and your
Can I add a few
experience.
more in
Yeah,
there too?
go
It
ahead.
deals with the character of God. In
Okay.
Genesis 1:31, God called everything very good, which means exceedingly good or perfect. If we have millions of years, God just called death, disease, decay very
Right.
good.
All that good. And then
And
and then you have to do what a lot of Christians have to do there is they have to explain how death is good.
yes,
And you get into you get into just this mental rat's nest of saying that it's good. I remember one time reading a book by someone who was defending it and saying death was good because of all the good that can come out of it, all the things that we create from a medical standpoint and in medicines and then I remember not long after that reading about the war in Iraq, how the army had progressed so much further on reconstructive surgeries because of all the men and women that had had their faces blown apart in
yes,
Iraq. And I'm thinking, so it's good that you had your face blown apart because we can figure out how to put your face back together.
yes,
That is a
yes.
crazy, ridiculous
Sure is.
argument. What if we just never had anybody get their face blown off? Wouldn't that be
Yes,
better
sure would.
all around? And
Yes,
so you end up with people making
yes.
crazy arguments like that.